Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of BurnerAccount. This week's episode is brought to you by our new sponsor, Splash Ethnic Hair Fill-In by Kevin Durant. Let your splash be the real MVP of your next cut. Please keep out of reach of appropriating Caucasians. I am your host today, Suge Light, bringing it to you from some garage in Portland. Let's bring in the crew from Ohio, starting with my man who's on the road right now, Demetrius. What's happening, Meech?
What up, Suge Light?
My man from Akron, Ohio, slash Barberton, Mr. Michael Holmes. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. How are you, MC Suge Light?
MC Suge Light. I like that. I'll keep that. And straight from off of his post, Mr. Jonte Allen. What's going on?
Well, hello there, Sugar Bear. Nice to be here.
Sugar Bear Light.
Sugar Bear
That's
Light.
right. Keep it light. All right. And on the phone, we got my man, the mayor, straight from Akron. What's happening, Ryan?
What's going on? What's going on? And there is only one Akron. Ain't no Akron/Barber. It's just Akron. So get it right.
I know that's right. Check him.
Yes, sir. We'll remember for next time. Anyway, so just thank everybody for joining us today. It's going to be a good week of picks, man. I know it was a good last week of picks. Unfortunately, somebody won who I didn't want to win. Meech, congratulations on the win last week. How you feeling?
I appreciate that, man. I'm feeling real good. The top feels so much better than the bottom. You feel me? And I know people like you want to hold me back. I know that's why you felt some type of way about me winning, man. I know, man.
Well, actually, I don't want to put my hands anywhere near you. But I'm happy for your success, whether you believe it or not.
Nah, man. No, man. Your new nickname is Mr. Krabs.
Very inflammatory, but we'll move forward nonetheless. It's going to be a great week in NFL football. Week 14, we got the Jets playing in Buffalo. Carolina playing in Cleveland. Ooh, look out, you guys. Cam Newton, the real quarterback's coming to town. Atlanta at Green Bay. Baltimore at Kansas City. New England at Miami. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. New York Giants playing at Washington, divisional game. Indy at Houston. Cincy at the Chargers. And then Denver playing San Francisco. Also, we got Philly at Dallas, another divisional game. Pittsburgh playing lowly Oakland. Another bum bowl for us this week. Detroit at Arizona. We got the Rams playing Chicago's on Sunday Night Football. And then on Monday Night Football, we got Minnesota playing at Seattle, the Seahawks. All right, so let's bust it out with the first 5 games here. We'll start with the Jets at Buffalo. We'll go in order of how we were. Meet who you got in this game?
Jets versus Buffalo. I got Buffalo.
All right, one down for Buffalo. Mike, Jets at Buffalo.
Jets and Buffalo, I'm going to go with the Jets because their quarterback's back.
Who, Sam Darnold? Is that who you talking about?
That is
Yeah. Well, actually, Sam Darnold is starting. You're right. For the Jets, Isaiah Crowell is questionable but should be playing. Jonte, who you got?
I'm definitely going with the Jets. I think I went with Buffalo last week on some stupid stuff, and yeah, that hurt. So make sure I got it right this week, and gonna go with the Jets.
All right, Jets and Buffalo. Ryan, who you got, buddy?
Where is this game located at?
It's in Buffalo. That's crazy.
I'm going with Buffalo. For that reason alone.
Just that simple. I'm going to go with Buffalo this week, too, man. Look for Sean McCoy to maybe have his only really, really good game this week. All right, so moving on to the next game, Carolina at Cleveland. I think everybody knows that Greg Olsen is out for the season now, as well as for the Cleveland Browns. Denzel Ward, the starting corner, is out. The Carolina Panthers is also getting a new kicker. Graham Gano is out. Who you got in this game, Meech?
Thank you for that pertinent information about the kicker. Because of that pertinent information alone, that they have a new kicker, I think that I'm going to make my choice on this game that the Cleveland Browns will lose because of the kicker.
That's a good point, Ray. Noted I had a record-setting 63-yard field goal to win a game this year. So one for Carolina. Mike, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Carolina as well. McCaffrey's doing his thing, and I see him doing a great job against the Cleveland defense with Ward still out.
Okay, and Tay, who you got here?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep it the same. I'm definitely gonna go with Carolina. You know, the Browns have been looking. It had a decent year so far, and been looking better even since they fired the assistant to the head coach. So even though with that being said, I still think that they're gonna find a way to lose this game, and Carolina's gonna win it. Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, do you feel the same sentiment? Carolina at Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going with Carolina. I can't see the Panthers really losing this game. They need this game more than the Browns. I'm gonna roll with them in a tight one though.
Some logic offered there. I'm gonna go ahead and round it out and make it 5-0 Carolina. All right, next game we got up is Atlanta at Green Bay. Atlanta at Green Bay. No significant injuries. Devontae Freeman's still out. Who you got, Meach?
Oh yeah, this is a big game right here. You got Atlanta who've been underachieving versus the Green Bay Packers who've been underachieving. I want to see who's gonna fuck up the most in this game tomorrow. So I don't know if it's gonna be Matt Ryan missing Julio down the sideline or Aaron Rodgers overthrowing Jimmy Graham. I don't know what's gonna happen in this game, but you said it's in Lambeau, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and take Green Bay. Look for them to make a big statement, having fired their well-known linebackers coach. Shout out to him for getting fired so we can start somewhere else. Shout out to him. I know he a well-known commodity in the NFL. Good luck to him out there, and I'm gonna wish him well as the Packers get this dub.
Yo, wrap it up, B.
Hey, yeah, based off what he just said, I'm gonna go with Green Bay as well.
2 for Green Bay. Tay, who you got? Atlanta and Green Bay.
You muted, bro.
Oh, my fault. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and make that 3. I don't trust Atlanta at all to take this game. So Green Bay.
My man Ryan, who you got in this game? I think I already got a feeling. Right?
Oh.
One more second. Ryan, you still there?
Cartel and picked him up.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, fella. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. Sure, to bring home this victory. Have about 200, close to 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. In Lambeau, I think they'll win by at least 2 scores.
Ooh, 2 scores. That's nice. Well, they do got that Lambeau advantage. I think that's enough for me to take Green Bay too in this. I agree with Mooch. These are 2 underachieving teams. But I like Aaron Rodgers more than I ever would trust Matt Ryan, even though Julio is probably going to be the best player on the field that game. Moving on to the next game, Baltimore at Kansas City. Looks like Spencer Ware is going to be starting again for Kansas City. No significant injuries on Baltimore. Sammy Watkins is doubtful, but I think the Kansas City has named Chris Conley to start in this place. Demetrius, who you going to pick today?
You know I'm going with my man Action Jackson, baby. He undefeated, 3-0. I'm going to roll with the Kings. You feel me?
Okay. So
I'll
I'm
take.
assuming that that's Baltimore. Michael, who you got? Baltimore or Kansas City?
I got Kansas City for this one. I think
Right.
Spencer. You say what?
No, keep going. My bad.
I think with Spencer Ware finally getting in the groove, he's going to go ahead and make something happen against that defense.
Okay. All right. And Tay, who you got in this game?
I mean, I don't think it's any real question here. Rolling with my homies, as always. Yeah, man, gonna go with Kansas City, even though they're making dumb decisions by picking up Kevin Benjamin and he got injured. But it's neither here or there. Just gonna go with Kansas City, man. Mahomes ain't gonna let me down.
All right. Ryan, who you got in this game? KC hosting Baltimore.
Well, with that pick by me, she must want everybody to get closer because Kansas City is definitely about to beat the Ravens. Action Jackson will hit that rookie ball. Go for about 2 picks. They might even put Flacco in the game. This game, the Chiefs are gonna make a statement that even without their running back hunt, that they're still an elite team. So I look for them to come out and be aggressive. So yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Chiefs here again, and it's for Andy Reid. To be honest, I think Andy Reid does realize he knows how to galvanize players through turmoil. So I think he's galvanized Kansas City through the whole Kareem Hunt situation. Baltimore, I think this is one of Jackson's biggest tests. I actually like him against Kansas City defense on any other day, in any other circumstance, but I think he'll make a couple of costly mistakes to make Kansas City defense look good, give Kansas City a dub. So that's 4-1, Kansas City. Move on to New England at Miami. A deceptive game. No major injuries for Miami, nor New England Patriots. Gronkowski seems to be healthy for another week. Demetrius, who you got in this game?
I'm rolling with New England. I'm gonna make that pick on my way out. I'll walk away for a second, fellas. The police behind me is about to get real, so just pray for me, all right?
Okay. You remember to delete all those videos, right? Good job. Mike, who you got? New England at Miami.
Like you said, this is a tricky game. Miami plays New England very well, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the main man, Brady, and expect him to go ahead and get a few more yards past that 1,000.
Wow. Betting on Brady's rushing. All right, tell you who you got. New England at Miami.
Oh man, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take New England in that. I don't trust Miami at all. 6-6. New England is 9-3. Let's go ahead, Brady. Go ahead and get 1,002 rushing yards. Big bet.
Okay. New England at Miami. Ryan, who you got?
I'm going with New England on this one. Yeah, Miami does play New England well, but this I don't trust Miami. Not this week. And I think Brady's probably going to go back in yards. He's probably going to lose yards. So, try again next week. But, yeah, I'm going with the Patriots.
Okay. All right, no secrets there. I'm going to take New England too. Enough said. With that, our first 5 picks out of the way, I want to go to my man, Jonte, who has a very special segment for us today. Take it away, Jonte.
Yeah, so last time I was on the show, man, I talked about good old Mark Sanchez and the Washington Redskins and their fabulous pickup. They're just sage advice and just sage scouting. And I said how stupid it was, and they must have heard me, and they said, "No, you think this is stupid? Let me show you something that's stupid." And they went and picked up Josh Johnson, who only played, let's see, maybe 5 actual real seasons. We actually played a game on 4 actual seasons. We actually played a game all in Tampa Bay where he was drafted in the 5th round, 25th pick in the 5th round, 160th overall. Dude hasn't played a game since 2011. Last team he played for was Tampa Bay in 2011. He has been on maybe about 4 or 5 different rosters since then, or different other teams since then, but technically has not played a game with them. Dude's stats for his career: 5 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 1,042 yards. He has 177 attempts with 96 completions. I just want to say shout out to Washington for making me come back, because I definitely this week was going to talk about Patrick Mahomes, but they said, no, Tay, let me give you something that's even more stupid to talk about as far as our picks. So that's it.
Hey, officer, that is not necessary, officer. That is not necessary.
Did you tell him you had a lawyer? Oh man. All right. So we are back to our picks. Doesn't look like we have all of our panel back here. One of our panel members may be needing bail money, but that's okay. One of our sponsors may be able to handle that. We'll talk about that later on in the show. So, right back into the picks. Let's start off with New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Now, this is going to be a great game for New Orleans to get back on track. No major injuries. Tampa Bay, Jason Pierre-Paul is questionable. It'll probably be good to have him on there for that rush towards Drew Brees. With that being said, Demetrius, if you are not already being questioned, who you got?
What more do you want from me? No, I got New Orleans Saints, baby. Look for them to bounce back in a big way, especially in Tampa Bay. I look for Drew Brees to have a big game.
All right, counting on Drew Brees. Mike, you going with Drew too?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Drew Brees. New Orleans has been on fire, and I expect them to rekindle that flame and get it back going.
Wow, nobody's discouraged about that effort against the Cowboys last week. Tay, you gonna go with New Orleans too?
Oh yeah, man, that was a fluke. Forget the Cowboys, man. I look for Tampa Bay's offense to make New Orleans defense look good for once. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and stick with my man Drew Brees.
Okay. All right, and Ryan, who you gonna take? New Orleans at Tampa Bay?
Yeah, this has been a very interesting game. I actually don't think last week was a fluke with the Saints. I think they actually got exposed. Not saying they're a bad team, but they have some flaws that could be exposed. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay is not the team to do it. So I'm going with the Saints. I don't look for it to really be that close. I'm thinking maybe 2-score game. Tampa does have a nice offense, but we don't know what Jameis Winston we're going to get, so no telling, but I'm definitely rolling with the Saints.
Okay. So that's 4 for the Saints. Now, I will say this about Tampa Bay. I do like they resolve. They've been coming back from every time it looked like they're the worst team in the NFL. They come back and give a performance that maybe make us think they stay in the middle of the pack. But I don't think they got a chance against New Orleans. I think that they got a game plan to win this game. Enough said. New Orleans 5-0. Next game, the New York Giants at the Washington Redskins. The New York Giants are listing Odell Beckham Jr. as out. That's right, out. So it's really going to be the ground game, basically. Washington, Zach Brown, starting linebacker, is questionable. Based on that information, Meech, who you think is going to win this game?
I think the tank is in full swing. You just said that Odell Beckham ain't playing?
Yeah, he out.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah, the tank is in full go mode. Ain't no way in hell the Giants gonna win this game. Unless Eli really do jump over somebody like Saquon did. That's the only way.
All right, so 1 for Washington. Mike, who you got in this game?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Washington. I was faithful in the Giants until I did see Odell cut his hair supposedly and was out. And so with that, I'm out as well on the Giants.
Wow. So many things. So another for Washington. Tay, who you got?
Despite the fact that Washington Redskins went and picked up another bum pick, I'm going to go ahead and take Washington in this game, especially with Odell being out.
So your whole segment just meant nothing.
Oh, no, it meant something. That was stupid, but they just going up against a team that obviously ain't going to make them that ain't going to win the game. So, yeah.
I agree with you on that one. Ryan, who you got? New York Giants at Washington.
I'm going with this might change tomorrow, but I'm gonna go with the Giants. Even without Beckham.
Ooh, unpopular pick.
Even without Beckham, I feel like the way that they've been playing Washington, you can't just pick up a guy from Walmart and expect him to come in and play quarterback for you. But that's what they did, pretty much. So
New England do it all the time.
You said what?
Said New England do it all the time.
Don't play quarterback though.
That ain't just New England, and that ain't a quarterback.
Fact. Big fact. Okay, so going with New York Giants. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take Washington in this game, too. I actually like the Giants, not because of Eli or anything, but because of Saquon Barkley. But, again, Washington has been in the top 5 in rushing defense all year. And if, like I said, the linebacker plays, I think they're going to win this game. 4-1. Indy at Houston. For Indy, T.Y. Hilton is questionable. Starting cornerback for Houston, Jonathan Joseph, also questionable. Both should be playing, maybe matched up on each other. Who you got in this game, Meek?
Yeah, I probably got Indy, man, but y'all gonna have to hold me down because yeah, man, the police officer coming from the car don't look good, so I'm gonna have to sit this one out, fellas.
All right. I'll tell your lady friend we said hi. I mean, tell the officers that to take it easy on you. And Michael, who you got?
Did you say who was the Houston's quarterback?
No, I said cornerback.
Oh, cornerback. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I'm going to go with Houston. I like the little run that they've been on. And, I mean, I know Indy's been doing pretty good as well, but I think Houston keep that run going and make their push for the playoffs.
All right. Like Houston. Jonte, who you got, buddy?
Yeah, man, same here. I think Houston obviously has been on. I can't even say I think Houston has been on a roll as of late, so I expect them to continue that against Indianapolis. I don't think Indianapolis is going to be able to really stop them. So yeah, let's go ahead and, like I said, let my man Nuke go ahead and carry the team like he's been doing.
Oh man, Nuke. All right, Ryan, who you got? Houston or Indy?
I'm rolling with the Texans too, man. They are on fire, probably the hottest team in the league right now. The coach last week, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Luck. I'm still not on that Luck bandwagon. I don't really look for the coach to do anything this week either. And like I said, the Texans hottest team outright off the dub and get situated for these playoffs.
That's a good point. I think I'm gonna take Houston too. They have been hot, and that'll round it out all for Houston. Cincy at the Chargers. All right, we're going to skip Demetrius Adams for right now. I'm going to get his information later. Mike, who you got in this game? Michael.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking Cincinnati versus the Chargers. I guess I'm definitely going to have to go with the Chargers. I don't see Cincinnati doing much to stop Phillip Rivers and the crew.
Oh, yeah. Did I mention that Melvin Gordon is out? I did not.
Still part of the crew.
Still part of the crew? All right. He's going to
keep
going. All right. Say, how about you? Even though Melvin Gordon's out, you still loving the Chargers?
Originally I was. Honestly, I wouldn't say originally, but that's why I'm leaning towards right now. That honestly could possibly change because I really don't trust Cincy because, I think ain't Andy Dalton out?
I think no. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, right now I got the Chargers, but definitely could change to Cincy. I think they still got at least Joe Mixon's doing okay. So we'll see how that rolls.
True indeed. All right, Ryan, who you got? Chargers hosting Cincy.
I'm rolling with the Chargers as well. Another team I really like. They, even despite not having Melvin Gordon, I look for them to be very active on the ground game. To start it off, Phillip Rivers, of course, is going to do his thing, and they really need this game. They really need to stay in place for these playoffs, make a strong push, try to get that number 1 seed. So I'm rolling with the Chargers.
All right, I'm gonna make it a 4-4 for the Chargers. I got a feeling Meek's gonna like the Chargers in this game too, but we'll talk to him later about it. Next game, Denver at San Francisco. Man, I don't know how to feel about this game. It's gonna be at least it's gonna be kind of good weather because they are playing in San Francisco. I don't see too many major injuries for Denver. San Francisco obviously still has Pierre Garçon out. And Oh yeah, that's right. Emmanuel Sanders was placed on injured reserve last week for the Broncos. Who you got in this game, Mike?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Denver Broncos. I think Lindsey's been doing such a great job on his side, and Von Miller still holds down for defense. Him and Brandon Marshall. So I see Denver go ahead and pulling this one off.
And Tay, who you got here?
This one I think I took Denver in this one. I don't really think, like I said, that I don't think that Denver is going to lose his games to San Francisco. We just mean this San Francisco. I thought it was kind of interesting that this is the first time that Kyle Shanahan has faced the Denver Broncos as an opposing head coach. So I think that'd be, sort of interesting to see how he reacts to that. But definitely think he's so gonna take that L.
I think that's a good point. But I think that you're right. Yep, you're right.
Plus, also, Von Miller and Bradley Chubb have combined for like 22.5 sacks this season, which I think is the league best. So I don't see them not continuing that against the 49ers.
Good stat against the young quarterback at home, right? Who you got in this game?
I'm rolling with the Broncos. Their defense is still a top tier defense. The run game has been wonderful. I'm really loving the run game to make up for that lack of quarterback play. The 49ers, they just suffer, and they got too many offensive flaws right now. The quarterback position being the main one, I don't trust it. And if you don't have a quarterback and you're going against Denver, you got problems. So I'm rolling with the Broncos.
Sounds good. All right. Our next 5 picks. So we're going to take a little break here and go over to my man who has some interesting facts here on players in our league, Michael Holmes. Tell him what you got for us.
Well, it's not that interesting, but I'm gonna try. Let's just keep it. I was wondering about when is it too early to call it a bust? And the player I'm referring to is Derrick Henry. He's been in the league for about, I think this is his second season technically. He's been pretty much a backup to Murray, and then now he came in as a backup to. You would think this would have been his year to take over for the team, but then Deion Lewis came and took the starting position. And then the funny thing is, like with this whole, even though he had such a great game on Thursday with 298 yards rushing, but that's funny because that one game is almost adds up to what he done all year. Previously to that, he hasn't had over 60 yards rushing all year, and actually with that 298 yards, he just tied what he did last year as far as yards go. And so I was wondering, personally, is it too early to call Derrick Henry a bust? Because he came in the league, they looked at him as a running back, and running backs are the bruisers. They usually get very light considerations on where they're picked, but he was drafted pretty high for a running back. That's not Ezekiel Elliott. And so with him being picked so high and then not even getting the starting position, and then when he was given the starting position, he lost it to Deion Lewis. I was wondering, is he a bust? I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay, kind of leaving a cliffhanger. It's up to us. Okay, well, we discuss that moving forward. All right. Well, that was a nice interview. Thank you for that, Mike. We appreciate your entertaining anecdotes. Moving on to the next 5 games I have up here on the list. We've got Philly at Dallas.
You'll never take me alive, coppers.
Back from street jail. They catch you shoplifting in the women's underwear section again. Anyway, so Philadelphia playing at Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys do have Sean Lee still out, but their linebackers have been playing great. Looks like Philly does not have any major injuries. Michael Bennett is questionable, but believe me, I believe Michael Bennett should play. But we'll keep that in mind. Meech, who you have for Philly at Dallas?
He about to go to jail, so somebody about to be Philly in his Dallas.
Well,
So,
well,
He's
so
still OTR.
okay, we're gonna move forward. Mike, who you got?
I was kind of skeptical about this game because Philly has been very inconsistent, and Dallas have been doing good ever since Amari Cooper was traded to the team. But I did go with Philly because it is a divisional game. I feel like Philly wants to keep it close and kind of stay like on the tails of Dallas for that at least a wild card position. So I went with Philly.
Philly. Say who you got. Philly at Dallas. Dallas playing.
yeah, with that, I originally was going to take Philly, but I ended up taking Dallas. Dallas has not lost to Philly, or I should really say the Cowboys are 3-0 against Philly when Zeke plays. So Zeke is playing, Dallas is winning, and the Eagles' chances of getting into the playoffs just became that much more slimmer. I think they said since the year 2000, only like 2.7% of the teams who started out at 4-6 or worse have actually made it into the playoffs. So with that, yeah, bye-bye Eagles, hello Dallas.
All right, Ryan, do you feel the same sentiments? Philly at Dallas.
Yeah, man. I talked to my Ohio State boy Zeke, man. He said he about to eat all day against these boys. They don't really have. They've been lacking. The Eagles. They've been lacking on defense. I really didn't expect their defense to be playing so poor. Then Wentz, he's still recovering from that injury, and you can tell. Dallas one of the hottest teams right now. That defense is playing excellent. Amari Cooper playing good, and like I said, he's about to eat all day, so I'm rolling with the Cowboys.
All right, Ohio factor in here, man. I've really been loving that couple of games. So against my better judgment, I'm gonna go ahead and take Dallas too. All right, so we moving on to the next game. Unless you want to come back yet, Demetrius, are you still being chased? All right, let's keep it moving. We'll give you more updates if the news does it first. Pittsburgh at Oakland. This will be again in Oakland. Um, Pittsburgh does list James Conner as out, unfortunately. So there will be a new starting running back in his place. No major injuries for Oakland Raiders today. Who you got, Mike?
They could put AB as the running back, and they'll probably still get the dub. He could play running back and wide receiver. So I just have no faith in Oakland at all. I really like Derek Carr, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
Okay, and say who you got? Pittsburgh at Oakland.
Yeah, I don't know about liking Derek Carr. Pretty much the opposite. This guy has thrown, I think they said, 7 interceptions in his last 7 games, which is like the longest streak of his career. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say he continues that streak, especially going against, good old Pittsburgh. And, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh in this one, man. They have scored, they said, 31 points. Against the bottom 10 scoring defenses in the league, and the Raiders have allowed like 30 points per game. This is 31st in the NFL. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh. I don't think there's any other question in that.
All right. And Ryan, who you got? Pittsburgh and Oakland.
I'm definitely rolling with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. They really need this game. They really need this game. This game is big for them. And Oakland, I don't trust them at all. Their quarterback situation, I definitely don't like Carr. And plus, they want to take. They're not really looking to win, so I'm going with the Steelers.
Man, that sounds about right. Now, I have some doubts about Pittsburgh. I actually hope that they run game get kind of exposed without having James Conner. They really overlooking how good James Conner is and was for them. And I think the Steelers themselves think that these running backs are expendable. And I hope that get exposed. I don't think that Oakland is a team that's going to expose them. Pittsburgh winning will round it out and take them 2. Next game, we've got.
Who's the Pittsburgh running back, Sean?
I forget. I think it's
Jalen Samuels.
I was about to say Curtis Samuels. Sorry. Thanks for that save, Tay.
Okay, thank you.
Jalen Samuels. What are you, number 38 or something like that, or 80?
35. I want to say.
Let's just go in the middle and say 36.5.
Anyway, Detroit at Arizona, Bumbo Part 8. Man, this is a bad game to watch. I just know it is. For the Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately, they don't have a lot of injuries there other than what's been already plaguing them. No major injuries for the Detroit Lions either. They both should be at full strength. However trash that is. Mike, who you got in this game? They're playing in Arizona.
Oh, I got Detroit.
Enough said. Tay, who you got in this game?
This one was a tough one with me because obviously we got a Bumbo, so it can go anyway, either way. Even with Matthew Stafford. That's his name. Yeah, Matthew Stafford.
You said it right the first time.
Yeah, right. Bum. Even though since trading away Golden Tate, this dude has thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. So I thought that was a little interesting. So it doesn't really bode well for him as far as that's going. I think he kind of continues that slate. But I'm just gonna go ahead and go out on a limb on this one and just go ahead and take Detroit, even though I think Cardinals could probably pull this one out.
Cardinals put out a win last week with another running back besides David Johnson. Who you got in this game, Ryan?
The Arizona Cardinals, last week was their Super Bowl. That was their Super Bowl. So that's all they wanted to do for this whole season. They got their win. They won't win for the rest of the season, so I'm rolling with the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. Well, that's 3 for Detroit. Good God, man. I hate to take them, but I am going to go with the Detroit Lions as well. I think they're slightly less trash than the Arizona Cardinals. But look at that for the best pick. So I'll make it 4 for Detroit. And still being detained. So we're going to move on to the Sunday night game. And this should be the game of the week. Or at least it's the game of the week. Rams, the Los Angeles type, at Chicago, the Bears, who are still without their starting quarterback. Yes, that's right. Mitchell Trubisky still listed as questionable. I'll keep you updated on that. But no major injuries for the Rams. Look like they're going to be at full strength. With Trubisky, I think they just had him out last week to make sure he was healthy for this game at home. With that being said, Mike, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Rams. Chicago has still a good defense, but I think the Rams offense should prevail against that good defense tomorrow. Anyway.
Okay. Defense meets better offense. Jonte, with Mitchell Trubisky back, how do you feel about Chicago's chances against the Rams?
I think it's even worse. We got this guy called named Aaron Donald. I don't know if anybody's heard of him. 13 forced fumbles this year, 92 tackles for a loss, and 55.5 sacks. He's definitely better than Khalil Mack this for the career, as far as those stats go. And we got a guy called Todd Gurley. I think people may have heard of him. He's, as they say, # good at football. So I don't think that the Bears I don't think they win this game at all. I think it's going to be a good game, though. I actually can't wait to see it. But I don't think definitely the Rams are going to go ahead and take this.
Nice stats. Very welcome. Ryan, based on all that bullshit he just said, who you got? Rams?
Man, yeah, I'm definitely not picking the Bears. The Rams, look for them to get off to a great start. Todd Gurley, they're going to establish him early. I do like the Bears defense, but they're going to be out there on that field way too much because their offense is going to be able to produce anything. Trubisky is one of those guys who I look at some of his numbers at the end of the game, like how did he do it? But he's one of those Matt Stafford where the numbers don't reflect how they really play. So don't look for him to have a big game this week, though, for sure. I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams, too, but let me say this. I think I saw some weaknesses in Goff's game last week. I do think that having Todd Gurley is the ultimate backup plan, the ultimate card. So I don't see the Rams losing this game, but I do think see Chicago making a couple of spectacular plays to make it look like they had a chance. But I'm gonna go with the Rams too. Moving on to the next game, unless Meech, are you still being arrested right now? All right, still being detained by the law. Hope it ain't the feds. This don't sound like the local police. Minnesota at Seattle for our Monday night game. Man, this might be a better game than what people probably thinking. Even though Kirk Cousins has been, not stats as far as wins, underachieving. No major injuries for Seattle at the moment, besides them being decimated at running back, which hasn't stopped them from being one of the leading rushing teams in the NFL. KJ Wright is questionable, but should play as well as Doug Baldwin. So who you got in this game, Mike? Yeah, he knows he's muted. Unmute yourself, Mike. You may speak.
Nah, double tap. I'm gonna go with Seahawks. I think Seattle's doing pretty good. They're on their playoff push. And I think they'll do what they need to do to go ahead and get this win. Even with Cousins for the Vikings, I think he's been making a couple horrible plays. So I see the Seahawks go ahead and do their thing. They're great defense. Back to you.
Tay, who you got? Minnesota at Seattle.
I do like the wide receivers for Minnesota. I think that Seattle will go ahead and tough this one out. I mean, Russell Wilson has definitely been pretty elite on deep passes, and they've been on a roll as of late. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Seahawks on this one.
Now for the Seahawks, Ryan, Minnesota or the Seahawks, man, who you trust?
I'm trusting Sierra's baby dad. I'm gonna trust them on this one, man. I really haven't been a fan of the Seahawks, but this year they turned me around. They're starting to look like the old Seahawks, and they were actually a championship contender. Great run game.
Mm-hmm.
That run game is amazing, and that defense has been stepping it up lately. The Vikings, I really just don't trust their quarterback at all. And it's in Seattle, which is tough for anybody to play, let alone a team that ain't got everything together that they need. So I'm going to roll with the Seahawks.
Yeah, my faith has been waning in the Minnesota Vikings as of late, even though I do like the team that they have. I like the way that they've tried to put things together. Just not working for them this year, and I think they've run into Russell Wilson and Seattle at the wrong time. They just simply don't lose very much in these late season games at home. So I'm going to take Seattle at home. Might be closer than you think, but I think Seattle's got it in hand before the kickoff even starts. Demetrius, you want to join us or still out of commission?
Mike, why are you looking like that, man?
Look at the handcuffs is pink too.
What?
Why you look like that?
That's my smiling face.
Please stop.
Yeah, please stop. Well, that wraps up our picks for the week. Right now, we still have Demetrius Adams, our new leader, ahead just by 2 points. Right behind him, my man Ryan Mitch, the mayor, at 124 total points. And then me and Adrian in third and fourth place at 119. Oh, Tay is tied with us too.
Hey, bro, hold on, man. You better put some respect on my stats, bro.
Tay is also mentioned as having 119 points as well, with Mike bringing up the real 114, followed by Tony with 103. Now, looks like
how could I be bringing up the rear if Tony got 103? Jeez.
I think you
need to go
understand
that
without me
far.
having to insult you.
Don't even need to go that far. Just keep it with the top three. What a loser. I just felt the bus roll over me.
Is that we having a pick show? And I told him about the picks. Is that really throwing you under the bus?
Did we have to? We'll discuss this later, Gerald.
Gerald's in trouble. Gerald's in trouble.
Did I miss something, Michael? We'll talk about this later. Okay.
All right. Sound like your wife.
Exactly. Like,
Domestic dispute.
Hey, Meeks, man, now that you back and the police done let you go after you done gave your statement, you want to pick these last few games for us? I'm going to run them back to you really quick, all right?
Yeah, let's not say we did, Gerald.
All right, that does it. So, again, Meeks, the overall leader, refuses to show his picks. He's just trying to stay ahead here. Last thing we got on our menu is our TD VIP. This week, we want to pick out those people that we know are going to be dancing in that end zone, as Demetrius Adams so eloquently puts it. So, we'll start off, we're going around and asking everybody's main TD VIP, and then we'll ask them for their backup or sleeper pick second. We'll start off with you, Mitch. Who's your TD VIP for the week?
I got my man McCaffrey getting up in that end zone.
Christian McCaffrey of the Carolina Panthers for Demetrius Adams. Oh, man, I think you stepped on some toes, my man. Mike, you up next. Who are you going to pick for your TD VIP end zone, baby?
It's too late to go with Derrick Henry, so I'm going to go with the other bruiser. Give me LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount. Okay, he is starting.
Suge would say ooh to the name Blunt.
Now that you mention it, does have a nice ring to it. We'll move on. Tay, who's your TD VIP for this week?
Go ahead and give me Jalen Samuels.
Smart man. Jalen Samuels, who is going to be a starting running back for the Steelers. For Tay, Ryan, your TD VIP.
I'm going with Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. That's a nice one. Now, again, for our listening audience, quarterbacks do have to make a end zone on either a catch or a run. Cannot be passing touchdowns. But I think Ryan's safe with this pick. All right. So my TD VIP for this week, I'm going to go the same as last week. I'm going to go with my man Philip Lindsay from the Denver Broncos.
Can you go the same pick to that week, Sarah?
Can I not?
We just made up that rule right now. No, you can't.
Sure did. Yep.
Actually, I didn't pick Lindsay last week. I picked Eckler, I think, didn't I?
So are you calling yourself a liar?
Yeah. Well, for Mike's, for his for his satisfaction, I'll go ahead and make a different pick. I'm gonna go with
satisfaction.
You want to stop interrupting me and let me make my pick, young man? Thank you very much. I'll go with Mr. Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns. That's going to be my TD VIP. Now, sleepers. Let's go around the table. Who is your sleeper this week? TD VIP.
You know I'm going to go with the White Vic. If the White Vic get on that field, Mitchell Trubisky will be running in that end zone, baby. That's the White Vic.
Ooh, Blake Bortles?
Bisky. Oh, somebody's going to say Josh Allen. He ran for 130 yards last week. But Mitchell Trubisky or Demetrius Adams. Mike, who you got?
For my sleeper pick, I'm going to go with – wait for it.
We are.
Are we waiting because you're looking up people?
Sounds about right.
That will be correct.
Very well.
I'm going to go with nope. Wait.
Oh my goodness.
Adrian Peterson.
Okay. Good sleeper. AP.
Adrian Peterson.
One more time.
My God.
Okay. All right. And Jonte, who is your sleeper? PDVIP.
I don't know if I'm gonna call him really a sleeper, but I'm gonna go with Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron. Ebron.
I would definitely call him a sleeper, seeing that the Colts didn't even score a point last week.
Ebron. Sounds like he does taxes. Anyway, Ryan, who you got for your TDVIP sleeper?
I'm gonna go with Chris Godwin.
Say who?
Chris Godwin.
Infinite sleeper. I don't even know who that is.
I have no idea either.
Ain't he for the 49ers?
Yeah, I say a wide receiver for the 49ers, I think.
Godwin. Chris Godwin. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Oh, Godwin. I thought he said Giles. That's what I'm like, who the hell is that?
Oh, God.
Right.
I didn't know his first name was Chris. Let's learn something new.
So nobody took my sleeper TDVIP. I don't think it's a sleeper either. So I'm gonna go with Spencer Ware for the Chiefs.
It's not a sleeper.
Good way to call on a limb there, buddy.
Running back, but okay.
Nick Chubb was a sleeper.
Right. Good way to go out there on a limb, buddy.
Hey, some of our limbs are heavier than others. You know.
Wow.
And on that note, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us and bullshitting with us for about an hour. Last thing, I want to go around to my panel and ask them for their final 2 cents. This could be about whatever you want. Gloves are off. Anything that's on your mind that you want to say to the people. Meech, let's start with you, Your Royal Highness.
My 2 cents is, if you got a kilo of any substance in your car, please do under the speed limit. That's my final 2 cents.
A signed statement from Demetrius Adams to the people. Please do the speed limit with traveling with drugs. Mike, your 2 cents for the week.
My 2 cents is for all the barbers out there. If you're a basic barber and you know you're a basic barber, stop trying to charge $25 and you're a basic barber. Keep it at $15. Shout out to my nigga Lester, who's the first to do Beijing. So for $25, if you're not giving me the strip of Beijing that lasts for about an hour and a half, then you're not worth $25, man. I'm only paying you $15.
Oh my God. All right. From haircuts to Jonte Allen, maybe something a little bit more intelligible.
No, not really. I was just gonna say, go ahead and keep mustard packets in your car. You know, when the police pull you over for the breathalyzer test.
Wow. I think I heard that on the Ludacris song before. I hope I didn't bust your game there. All right, so let's move forward. My man Ryan, the mayor, give me some sound advice from Capitol Hill. What's your last 2 cents, my man?
All right, I have some sound advice for these young athletes, man. Shout out to Kyler Murray, who actually already has a deal in place to play for the Oakland A's. So he's going up for the Heisman tonight, you know. They even said in his interview, they asked, you coming back to school for another year? He said, nope, ain't no way. That's what I'm talking about. Don't stay in school and get hurt. You got millions on the line. Millions on the line. You better make that money. I'm proud of him for making that statement. I hope everybody paid attention. There ain't no reason to try to come back for another season. And also, I just noticed for a little report, this is the first time ever that you had 3 quarterbacks of color, even though one is Hawaiian, I guess that's color too, that's running for the Heisman. So I'm proud of our people, man. We're making a strong push. We get a couple Cam Newtons and Action Jacksons out there. I like to see that.
Very good way to end the show. I really appreciate that. And to keep that with that positive spirit, a message to all of my smokers out there. When rolling marijuana, it is safer that if you are using blunts, blunt rolls, cigarillos, and you're smoking with other people for the first time, do not use the funny flavored cigarillos. Keep the basics. Just the sweets will work. We don't want to smoke blueberry. We would like to taste the marijuana, not the tobacco. That's my last 2 cents. Again, we thank you all for joining us here on Burner Account. It has been a pleasure, and you bitches go get back to work.
What? Wow.